Hello, hello, guys. Welcome to Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. I'm so excited to be here. Today's guest, I'm super excited. I have so much love for her. We are going to be talking about self-love and just positivity and really embracing your true being. And I would like to welcome Miss Heidi Coker to the show. Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Wow, how are you, doll?
I'm great, thank you.
So I have so much love for you. So to go back, some of you guys might not know this, but we had met years ago. Actually, it's been in 2000. Oh my goodness gracious. I think it was 17 or 18 when I performed for Florida Pole Fitness Championship. And you're one of the judges, and I danced in my parents' memory. And that dance meant so much to me. And so it's just such a pleasure that you're here today.
That's awesome. It seems like forever ago now.
I know, right? It's so crazy. So yeah, so I love that you have so much love for the pole industry, and then just for the body moving, with intention, and even just taking everyday life and every moment in life and thinking of intention and just sharing positivity to others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's so important that the more we can love ourselves and who we are, all of our positivity, our positive traits as well as our flaws, the more we can love ourselves, the more we can love others. So yeah, it's really important.
Yes, that's so true. And right now, life is really challenging with COVID and quarantine and the riots and,
Mhm.
social media, and just a lot of heaviness is going on in the world right now. So I feel it's so important to, shine light onto other people and to just make it a better place.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's a tricky world right now, and it's hard not to get a negative mindset. So whatever we can do to spread positivity is great. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. So, what are some tips that you would give someone who is really having a hard time in really just self acceptance, accepting the flaws, and really, just loving the body they're in and loving where they're at?
Wow, that's a tough question because for some people they can kind of make that jump and it's not too difficult. But for others that might be in a darker place, that can be really challenging. So I guess I would say to be gentle to yourself, to be kind, to be soft, to be gentle, that it's okay not to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. And if you need help, if you need support, it's okay to ask for it.
Yeah.
We're not alone. We are all in this world together.
Yeah.
Whether that's spending a few moments alone outside in nature or calling a friend and just having a cup of coffee, either socially distanced or like we are here, with technology. But if it's dancing and putting on music or just doing something that you love, but just being kind to yourself, trying to accept where you are and know that it's okay to make mistakes, that it's all going to be okay. It's a slow process sometimes, but with practice, it gets easier, and we all have something to offer. We really do. We all do.
That. I love that. And it's so true. You said some really good words about just, be kind to yourself. And
Mm,
that's huge. I know personally that, I've had some hard times in my past. And, there's times where I get in my head and it's hard to
mhm.
forgive myself for some mistakes that I made when I was younger. But, you don't know what you don't know when you're at that time. So you have to forgive yourself. You have to let things go and you have to love yourself.
Yes. And we're all doing the best that we can. And some days we show up and our best is at a higher level. And some days our best is a little bit less than that. But it's really all that we have in this moment. And to beat ourselves up for thinking, oh, we should have done this or I could have done that. But in the moment we do what we do, and that's all we have. And we can just take it one step at a time from there.
I love it. Yeah. And like you said, you beat yourself up. Why would you want to do that? It's such a good way of putting it. You don't really think about it that way. You think of just kind of repetitive movements and,
Hmm.
repetitive thoughts. but it's really, you're torturing yourself. You're beating yourself up.
Yes. And sometimes we don't even realize it. Oh, why did you say that? Oh, you're so stupid, or that was such a dumb comment, or, you knew better. And we don't even realize that we wouldn't say that to someone else, and yet we say those things to ourselves all the time. So it's even to catch ourselves while we're in the act of doing that is the first step. Yeah.
I love that. And you radiate just so much calmness and so much softness and beauty,
Hmm.
strength. And I love that energy. And I love, the forgiveness, and you can tell the passion behind you wanting to really help other people and be a
Hmm.
really amazing example to, really embrace and love yourself.
Hmm. Thank you. The wonderful thing about loving myself today is that I wasn't always here. So I come from a background of beating myself up pretty profusely and a lot. So yeah, but thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. I totally understand because I've been in that situation. And it wasn't really until this year that I've been, just breathe, forgive, love, affirmations, say positive stuff, and just enjoy where you're at the time and take it each moment, each day at a time.
Yes, yes. And I think sometimes we think that we have to make these huge gargantuan leaps of progress. And sometimes it's literally day by day, and sometimes it's even moment by moment.
Yeah.
And it's not a fast track of progress. It is literally just showing up and doing the best we can all the time. And I love that you said affirmations. I know a lot of times people feel like, oh, oh, I love myself, or oh, good job, or you can do this, or thinking positive. Like, that doesn't always come naturally, but the more you say it and you try to say it to yourself, even if it doesn't, you're like, oh, good job, or you can do it, or be patient. And even if you're doing it with clenched teeth, eventually it does get a little better and it starts to resonate and make more sense to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's going to be okay, everyone. You can get through this. Love yourself and believe in yourself, and treasure the one body, the one soul, the one spirit that you have. So how are you staying calm and centered, or as centered as you can be during this crazy period of time?
Well, it's been many things. Just sitting with myself in meditation, and whether that is a minute or 20 minutes or an hour, but like actually sitting down and practicing the calming of the mind, and mindfulness practices, and a gratitude journal, and reaching out like with you and having conversations with people. Um, I have tried walking outside and just spending time with my cat, and cooking a good meal, just anything to find little things that feel good, having a good cup of coffee, reading a good book, affirmations, as you say, but just anything. And even today has been a tremendously challenging day. And it always comes back to, well, I'm still alive and I'm breathing. So I'm going to work on controlling my breath and just take a nice deep breath. And I'm still alive. I'm
Yes.
not dying, so everything's okay. And that sounds so maybe simple and I don't know, almost naive, but that's what we can do is, are you breathing?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you alive? Yes. Well, amen. That's a miracle. Let's go from there. Do you have clothes on your back? Yes. Okay. Are you able-bodied? Yes. And if not, do you have some working body parts? Yes. Can you smile? Yes. Do you have family? Yes. Do you have a friend? Yes. I mean, it's just how many things can we check off that are actually in our favor rather than the downside that we look at, because we normally have more with us that's going for us, I should say. So yeah.
Yes, that's so true. I recently did a vision board preparing for next year,
Yeah.
and we did it through a workshop through virtual, and we had to write a list. We did a different list, and one was the things that we were grateful for. And
Mhm.
it was so nice when you put it down in paper and just see, like, I kept writing and writing, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. I need to keep focusing on this.
Yes. And I think sometimes we think that gratitude has to be, again, these big things. And it's, wow, I'm grateful that I'm sitting here talking with you, and I'm grateful that this morning I had breakfast. I'm grateful that, if you have a job, that you have a job, and if not, well, then I'm grateful for the time that I have to kind of recoup and find out what I love. Like, the way the sunlight comes through the window, the color of the trees as they change in the fall. Like, there are so many little things that we can find gratitude for. The soft blanket or the pillow that I have. I mean,
Endless.
it's endless. Yes, it is absolutely endless. Yes.
I love it. I love it. So everyone, I suggest make a list, write stuff that you're grateful for, and just put it out in the universe. Every little detail. Yeah. Hearing my
Yeah.
little kitty cat purr.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Yes,
I love it. Yeah.
exactly.
So you also are so mindful, not just about the inside and the spirit and the being, but also in how you move your body.
I try to be. Yes, I find that as a gymnast, we trained and we were aware of our body, but it's very different to be, I think, in tune with just like how the muscles work, and in tune with what are you feeling in this moment in terms of like expression and dance. So, um, especially like through pole, like the journey was. How can we maximize on our muscle control? And then it's how do we maximize on this expression of what we're feeling, whether it's anger or pain or sadness or love or joy or just creativity or whatever that flow is. And so yeah, that became a passion, is how do you embrace the flow and moving mindfully. And then it kind of even transformed from not only from dance but then into how do you use your movement as meditation. So I've been using the pole to do mindful moving in terms of like actual, I call it Zen and the art of pole, but it's like it's literally pole meditation. And it's not just like freestyling, but it's feeling every muscle fiber and every toe hit the floor, and how your shoulder and your arm, and just really dialing into the moment. And yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Too. And it shows you have so much passion and so much love for
Mm,
it. And you can just feel it, resonating out of your heart. I have had so
mm,
many
thank
people
you.
that messaged me right before our interview that I had posted that we were doing this. And they were at work. So shout out to people that will watch later. But they were saying how much they love you and how much the way
Oh,
you move is so unique. And it's just
mm,
so spiritual, and you
mm,
have a
thank you.
creative, unique way of um, getting into stuff, and you can tell that it's from within. It's not just okay. Here's step A. Here's step B. It's
Mhm.
really intentional.
Yeah. I think one of the most amazing things, in this life is who we are. As it's our self-expression. Like, this is our voice. And through pole and through movement, that's just yet another way that we get to express. And it's wonderful that we can watch people and mimic them, because that is one form of learning. But to be able to allow yourself to be free and explore, and create new things, I mean, that in itself is a joy. And sometimes it's frustrating because we have this end result in mind. We have this like goal or thing that we're looking for. But when you just let yourself, explore in the movement, so many wonderful things come up. And even just to move your body in the way that it wants to express, it's a gift. And it's a skill.
Yeah.
We sometimes we when we hop up on the pole and we think that, oh, like this next turn is going to be this amazing thing, and then we get disappointed when it's not what we expect. So to allow yourself to move in whatever feels good at the moment without expectations is, it's something we get to practice, just like mindfulness and meditation. It's a skill that we practice, and eventually we can get deeper into the practice. But yeah, you got to show up for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. Because I know a lot of people when they first start out pole, they want to jump into the most advanced things and are worried about being judged or that they have to look and be a certain way.
Mhm.
So to step away from that judgment and just really self-love and
Yeah.
really be in tune with just being in the moment and enjoying the
Yeah.
movement is very beautiful. It's very free.
Yeah. And it's hard too, because I think especially as artists and as athletes, we have expectations. And when we watch a particular dancer and we see them move a particular way, we kind of expect that each time. And so I even know through my journey where I started with, a lot of crazy tricks, and then that changed into more transitions, and then the transition into more dance. And like, I even to this day have to work to release not only my own expectations, but those that others might have of myself, so that we can just, as you say, enjoy the movement and the moment, and just allow things to express. I mean, it's I wish everyone would take time to experiment and just let things happen naturally as they want to express in the moment. Yeah.
I love that. Is there a tip that you would give someone who, walks into the studio and
Mhm.
to go into that releasing the judgment and releasing the harsh expectations on themselves?
Yes, and again, I will say that it's not always easy. It's a simple practice, but not always easy. So, not taking yourself so seriously, I think, is one of the biggest ones. And that when you fall or you mess up or things don't go well, be like, all right, that wasn't what I expected, but I'm going to try it again. And, being able to laugh at yourself and be like, well, I tried. And what I learned that time is this didn't work, but now I'm going to try something else. And so that we don't get tied into, well, they got it on their first try. Why can't I?
Yeah.
Because that happens so often. So, having fun, like literally not taking yourself so seriously. It's okay to have goals, but maybe change the goals into, what's your intention for the day? Like, are we going for exercise? Are we going for fun? Are we going for freedom? Like, what's the intent of your practice? And, um, if you record, look at your mistakes and then see, wow, well, that was a mistake, but this really cool thing happened. Try dancing with your eyes closed.
Ooh.
Try to let go of thinking, oh, I'm just going to freestyle, or oh, I'm just going to trick, and just hold on to the pole and let your body touch it. Let it move and feel it in a different way. Use the pole as a dance partner rather than equipment, and try to just release all expectations. And again, it's easier said than done, but yeah, I guess just close your eyes at least for a minute or two and just let your body move and express. Yeah,
I
it's
love it. So many good
practice.
tips. So many good tips. Explore and surrender.
Absolutely.
I love it. And you also compete too, or you used to compete. How do you keep that mindfulness and keep true to your vision and to your true self dancing and competing?
Well, yes. So there was supposed to be a competition this year that obviously, because of COVID, has gotten canceled or postponed. But that's a challenge for sure. And every competition, my focus changes. So it's gotten more and more into the more mindful aspect of competing and performing, which for me it means following a storyline or creating a message to share. So that's where it starts. Is what it used to be like, what trick do I want to show? And now it's, what is the message that I want to share? Like, what resonates with my heart that I can share a space with other people? So that's where it starts. And then, is the music in alignment? Like the last routine that I did in a competition, we created the music from um, a poem that I had written, and my friends had helped me speak in different languages. And the soundscape that we created was from the different countries that I'd visited. So a lot of times it's just incorporating as much of the message as I can through the visual and the auditory, and then letting the movement, I don't know, speak from my heart. I know that sounds maybe a little bit cheesy and too generic, but it's just an ongoing practice of like what feels good to my heart. And maybe there are a couple tricks that I want to show or perform, but then I try to build the structure around that. So how can I be attuned to what's happening in the music? Where can I choreograph a breath or a moment to let the hand trail? Or maybe I let these 10 or 15 seconds be freestyled in the moment to see what the moment wants to speak through me. So there's little practices that help to keep it authentic and not such a structured routine, because the creative flow is very important to me, and sometimes that happens naturally, and sometimes it's more of just showing up every day, and going through the process. But that's kind of how I like to think about it. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, and it shows. I feel like when you're really dancing with your heart, people, relate to that, and it really
Mm,
touches them, and they really can see the passion behind it, and they can feel it. And I feel like that, is so beautiful in itself.
mm, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Yeah, so many good tips. I love it. And I feel like even, with my dance, that my favorite dance is the one that I didn't really think about anything. I didn't really think about the tricks. Everything was from my heart, from my emotions. I was crying when I was dancing. I was having moments of smiling. And I just kind of, just did it.
Yeah, and sometimes too, you get off the stage and it's like, I don't even know what that looked like, but I know how it felt, and
Yes.
it felt amazing, and so that's all that matters. And sometimes I might go back and look at the video and be like, "Oh, yeah, that was okay."
Yeah.
But how I felt in the moment, but how I felt, that's what I remember, and just being there and being in that space, because that performance space, as I know is, it's a live thing, and it's not just the dance itself, it's what you create with the audience, and that's in that moment that you share together, like, that is a precious, um, sacred, moment. It really is. It gives me goosebumps just talking about it. It's yeah, it's a living thing, and I think about performances where, like, maybe, like, my tricks were on point, but, like, I wasn't in the moment, and I remember getting off stage and being like, "Okay, well, I checked off all the boxes, but I wasn't there." So, when you allow yourself to be there, it's less about, was it perfect, or was it less, it's less about, oh, that my foot was flexed, or, oh, I stumbled here. It's the feeling that you want to leave people with, and that's what people remember is, did you touch their heart? Did they breathe when they watched you? Did they, were you guys together? Was there connection? So
Yes. This is silent in the room.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but I feel like it's a good thing to think about in everyday life is, just people remember how you make them feel, and, just to enjoy the moment, to be intentional with everything,
Yeah,
with the things you say, with the way you treat people, with the way you treat yourself, with the way you move, with the way you live.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And again, that all goes back to, like, can you take a breath in this moment? Like, before you speak, or before you act, before you do something, can you just take that breath before you go in? Right, exactly. It makes a huge difference. And the more you can practice that, the more intuitive and natural it becomes. So when you have those stressful moments, it's like, wait a minute, ah,
Yeah.
okay, okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And
it's
I
a big deal.
too, I've had so many crazy moments that, it's like I get wound up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll just have to either laugh at it or I'll have to breathe, because I'm like, okay, like I've been through worse. We can get through this. Of course this would happen. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And usually once you get through it, like, you're like, okay, that wasn't so bad. Like, okay, I don't want to do it again, but, like, I'm still alive. It's okay. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be okay. So has COVID really affected your industry right now too, like your business and everything like that?
Yeah, hugely. So, it went from a couple weeks of quarantine to the entire year being canceled, and I just had events in January that were canceled, and so yeah, everything. And what's really kind of neat in a way is that as a collective, so many of us went online, and so we were able to be online and teach, and that was incredible. Just amazing to be able to connect. I know for me personally, even after a while, I found that to be really tiring. It's a lot of energy and it's beautiful. But for me, it's been a time of, like, reflection and kind of readjusting and now that we're kind of back in the studio again, it's good to be with people, even if it's in a mask. It's good to be with people, and even if it's distanced. But we have an amazing community, and yes, life has changed a lot. But some really cool changes have come from it as well. I can honestly say that I'm grateful for COVID. I really am, and I mean, life is what it is. There's no reason to fight it or change it because it's just happening. It's naturally unfolding. So, yes, it's disappointing that the competitions were canceled, but look at how many were online and how many I had a client of mine, a student who got to do her first competition, and she was training and was so excited. And then it got canceled, and it was like, well, at least I can do it online. So she competed here in the living room, and she did her video, and it was amazing. And so, we might have had some losses, but we also had some victories through all of this. And I think as a community, we were able to pull together and do some really amazing things. And yeah, I think it's just fascinating to see what we've been able to do in the last 8 months.
It's true. It's so amazing to see the pole industry, the aerial industry, how much
Hmm.
it's changing and adapting. And I have to say too that at first COVID was kind of scary, and at first it kind of like threw me for a loop, but
Hmm.
the world needed it. I feel like everyone needed to take a step back. Mother
Yeah.
Nature needed it. And I'm so grateful to have the social media platform so that way I can connect with amazing people such as you, and know, work on trying to inspire other people from online.
Exactly. And what's also so interesting too is that as much as the online presence that we've had has been so positive, it also can be very stressful for some people, and even negative sometimes, because it sets up a site of comparison and like, wow, look at what they're doing, and it's just a glimpse of looking into someone's life. So um, social media is a great platform to be just like you're doing, to talk with people and share love and positivity, and just anything to lift each other up in a time when a lot of people are struggling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely. Thank you so much for being such an inspiration. Was there
Mm.
anything that you wanted to tell the viewers?
Wow. Yes, I would say that you're doing a great job, that you are doing an amazing job right now. Believe in yourself. Trust that you have all the wisdom and knowledge that you need, and it's right here. It is right here. I promise you. Take time to take care of yourself. Listen to your heart. Try to spend time with yourself, breathing. Just take a moment, whether it's a full on meditation or it's just a few breaths. But love yourself. You are worth it. You are special. You are amazing. And the world needs your gifts. So please take care of yourself.
Oh, I love it so much. What is it that you want to be remembered for?
Say that again.
What is it that you want to be remembered for?
Oh, gosh. Um, I would like to be remembered by someone who lived their most authentic self and who tried to show the world as much love and light as possible. Yeah.
Oh, and you are. You're such a light, and you have such a beautiful spirit, and you're just so loving and giving, and you're just so warm to other people. Your energy is just so beautiful. So you are already doing that, and I'm so honored to have you on the show. Thank you for
Oh,
illuminating
thank you.
the world with your presence. You're so
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, it has been such an honor and such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on the show. And we have so much love for you. And I'm so excited to follow your journey and just to see all the amazing things that you are doing and all the love and inspiration that you are being to other people.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and just thank you.
Thank you, love. Take care.
Bye.
Guys,
Bye.
thank you so much for tuning in to Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and then we're also on social media platforms, all the multiple podcasts. So thank you guys for illuminating the world one voice at a time. Thank you.